Thank you. Thank you very much. And a very, very special, we love this place. We love Detroit. Thank you very much. And hello to Michigan. We win Michigan, we win the whole ball game. Thank you very much. I'm thrilled to be back in this incredible state with thousands and thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. Thank you very much, everybody. So I'd like to begin by asking a very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Not even close. And our country's not better off, that I can tell you. Early mail-in voting in Michigan is now underway. So here in Detroit, early in-person voting starts tomorrow. So get the hell out and vote. You got to get out and vote. With your help, 18 days from now, we are going to win the state of Michigan. We are going to defeat Kamala Harris. And we are going to, quite simply, make America great again. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. You know, Detroit has such great potential, but Kamala and the Democrats have been wreaking havoc on this place. This very, very, in many respects, it's a sacred place. So many things happened in Detroit, and it's been treated so badly. And they've been talking about comebacks for so long, but we're going to bring it back better than it ever was, better than it was many, many years ago. We're going to make Detroit great again. We're going to make it great again. You know, they have been talking about it for years and years and years. For generations, this city and state were the world capital of automotive production and one of the great manufacturing centers in all of history. No matter where you went, this was the greatest in all of history. But year after year, globalist politicians like crooked Joe Biden, lying Kamala Harris, sold you out and let other countries loot, pillage, and plunder our wealth, our jobs, and our dreams. And they did that here more than any other place in our country. 40% of Michigan auto jobs were annihilated after NAFTA, and China's entry into the World Trade Organization was a disaster for your beautiful place, your beautiful city, and frankly, your beautiful state. Detroit was decimated. It's right, Detroit was decimated as if by a foreign army. There was no difference. Our factories were left in ruins, and under Kamala Harris, this year alone, the United States has lost nearly 50,000 manufacturing jobs. You know, they're doing a terrible job. Did you see her interviewed the other night? She said, essentially, yeah, I'd keep it the way Biden had it. Oh, that's great. That's great. He got out because of the way he kept it. She'll keep it the same way. U.S. car sales are down 38% since I left office. But with victory in November, we're going to take back what is ours, and it is ours. We're going to take it back, and we're going to bring back our jobs, our dignity, and our dreams. And standing before you tonight, I am proclaiming to the people of this state that by the end of my term, the entire world will be talking about the Michigan miracle and the stunning rebirth of Detroit. And this will be a real rebirth. Right? Under the Trump administration, all who have robbed you, raided you, ransacked you, and abused you will discover very quickly America will not be taken advantage of anymore. We were taken advantage of for years, for decades. We will reclaim our stolen wealth, and the days of Detroit's economic glory will return greater and stronger than ever before. Promise. And I know how to do it. Oh, do I know how to do it. I will put Detroit first, I will put Michigan first, and I will put America first, and that's the way it is. As we speak, China was building a gigantic auto plant in Mexico. You know about that, and really more than one. Don't worry about it. I took care of it for you. Took care of it. It's already done. Without even closing the big deal, which is the presidency, I've already got it done. Of course, if she got in, she has no idea what the hell she's doing. She's grossly incompetent, worse than him. Then I cannot tell you what's going to. I can tell you they'll build the plant. I can tell you, but it's already done. They think they're going to sell all of their cars into the United States and destroy Michigan, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I promise you. No, they're building giant plants, and now they just announced something which is going to save Detroit, because you would not be able to compete with this plant, the biggest in the world by far. A friend of mine builds them. He said, the biggest in the world. He wanted to show it to me. I said, no, thank you. I have other things to do. I want to see the plants built in the United States. That's the ones I want to look at. So I said to him, John, a year ago, I want to see a plant. And he said, sir, we'll have to go to Mexico. I said, I don't want to go to Mexico. I want to look at one here. He said, there's no big ones being built in the United States. I said, that's bad. I said, how big is it in Mexico? The biggest in the world. I said, so they're going to make cars and sell them in here. Kill Detroit, kill Michigan. You wouldn't have anything left. You wouldn't have anything left. So the other day I was speaking, a couple of weeks ago, I was speaking at the Economic Club of Detroit, which was nice, made a nice speech. And what happened, I saw John, who's the biggest and the best auto builder. That's what he does. He builds plants. I don't know if he can build anything else. I'm not sure he can build an apartment, but plants he's very good at. And I hadn't spoken to him in a year. He was telling me about this massive plant. And I spoke, and I explained how I'm going to put massive tariffs, very big tariffs on anybody in Mexico that's selling cars are going to hurt our business here. And I said to him, how's that plant coming along, John? And he said, sir, they just told me it's over. They're not building it. They think Trump is going to win. He's going to impose tariffs, and it's worthless. You owe me big. You owe me. You owe me. So they stopped construction. They're not building it. And Detroit will survive. But now we got to make it more. Now we're going to build the plants. So I'm going to do, sometime next week, I'm going to call the people building the plant, very big, wealthy company, which is backed by China. It's China, you know. It's China. It's in Mexico, but it's China. And I'm going to say, build your plant in the United States. We want people to build plants in the United States, employ our people. That's what we want. And if you do that, it's a whole different story. And ideally, they'll build it right here in Detroit. And we'll get Detroit moving. And others will come also. So vote Trump, and you will see a mass exodus of manufacturing jobs from Mexico to Michigan, from Shanghai to Sterling Heights, and from Beijing to right here in Detroit and other cities all across America. Because a strong auto industry will make all of Detroit richer, boosting suppliers, real estate, and your entire economy. And, you know, I've been reading about Detroit for so long, the comeback. This is the real comeback. This isn't artificial stuff. This is the real comeback. You better vote for me. So very simply, it's not overly complex. Some people don't understand it. If you watched Bloomberg the other day, you would have seen the CEO of Bloomberg interview me, and I think he understood it. And I think the Wall Street Journal now understands it. Because to me, the most beautiful word in the dictionary, it's not love, it's not respect.
this connect to something?
Does it need to be connected, or is it?
Did this connect? Is it connected?
I need a patch.
I know. I want to be able to give that to you. Here's the patch. It's right there. See it right there?
Hello. I won't pay the bill for this stupid company that I won't pay the bill, and then we'll have a story that Trump didn't pay. Actor, no, when they do that kind of a job, don't pay the bill. That's terrible. They also had a little problem with energy coming into the building, but I'm not blaming it on that. But here is my plan. Do we have fun? And can everybody hear perfectly now? I don't like the mic anyway. I didn't like it from the minute I started. And this is important because we're doing things here that are really going to be amazing. So let me know, and if it goes out again, I'll sue the ass off that company. We're going to sue them. Then they'll say, what a horrible guy Trump is. He's a terrible guy. Starting in January, we will give our companies the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs, the lowest regulatory burdens, the free access to the biggest market on the planet, that's us. But only if they make their products here in America and hire American workers for the job. And if these companies don't make their cars and products here, then they will pay a tariff, a very tariff, when they send their products into the United States for the privilege of competing with our workers and our cherished companies. We're going to protect our companies. We're not going to let them steal our companies like they have in the past. We're going to call this policy Build It in America Plan, because when foreign leaders and CEOs call me up to complain about our tariffs, my answer will be very simple. Build it in America. Very simple. And to be specific, build it in Detroit, and we'll give you good electricity. Or build it in Dearborn or Lansing or Grand Rapids or Flint. The centerpiece of this plan will be a 15% made in America corporate tax rate. So we brought the rate down, and you saw this, from close to 40% to 21%, and you've already had that. Nobody thought it could be done. We got it down to 21. Now we're going to get it down to 15%, but only if they build it in America. Does that make sense? And for those who don't make their product in America, they will be forced to pay tariffs, and we will take in hundreds of billions of dollars toward our budget. We'll pay down our debt. We'll reduce your taxes still further. I gave you the largest tax cut in the history of our country. And we will take in so much money, and we will take in so many jobs, and we will be bringing, for the first time in years and years and decades, companies will be coming to us, and they'll be coming back to Detroit, and they'll love it. Some say my defense of American jobs makes me a protectionist. And yes, I will protect what is ours. I will protect our workers. I will protect our jobs. And I will protect our borders. I will protect our families. And I will protect the birthright of our children, the richest and most powerful nation on the face of the earth. These pro-worker policies are among the many reasons, and it's not protectionist, it's pro-worker. It's really not protectionist. We've had people ripping our country for years, decades, destroying. You look outside, all the hulks, you see the empty buildings. For years and years, they've been ripping us off. Now it's time for us to get it back. We're going to get it all back. These pro-worker policies are among the many reasons why I've been overwhelmingly endorsed by the rank-and-file membership of the Teamsters, including 62% of the Teamster members, and there are a lot of them here today. Stand up, please. Teamsters, we love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Kamala does not even pretend to have a plan to save Detroit because she knows her agenda will reduce your future to rubble. He's not going to. Her plan will drive every company, even small businesses, out of our country or out of business. It's a disaster. It is a disaster. Kamala's inflation has already cost the typical family over $30,000 in higher prices, and now she's proposing to raise the typical family's taxes by nearly $3,000 a year. So watch these two videos. Let's see if they have some electricity going to them, please. And it would be nice if the television cameras could watch them also, because they don't do that.
President, there are many different tax policies which could cripple the economy, but the first thing she wants to do is allow these Trump tax cuts to expire. Even the New York Times admits that 85% of the middle class got a tax cut.
Americans will face a hike. The Tax Foundation finding that a couple with 2 kids making $165,000 a year would have to pay over $2,400 more in taxes.
And on day one, I will repeal that tax bill. Joe Biden and I are about to work to get rid of that tax cut. Joe and I are about to get rid of that tax bill. Joe Biden and I are about to get rid of that tax cut.
Everything from a 70 to 80% tax rate.
I think that's fantastic. We've got to increase the corporate tax rate. Part of that is going to be about repealing that tax bill that they just passed. And also looking at estate taxes are going to have to go up. We will tax capital gains, but we're going to have to raise corporate taxes.
Taxing unrealized gains just doesn't seem fair in any sense of the word.
When the value of your home goes up, you pay higher taxes even if you don't sell your home.
Your value of your home never moves the way the stock moves to say, we're going to tax what you don't have. That's a sore point, and it's a big deal. Is that something you think she firmly believes in?
I think it's part of the proposals of the campaign.
Under my plan, there will also be a carbon fee. There has to be some connection between the fee and bad behaviors, and there has to be, and that we have to monitor whether it's going to be passed on to consumers. But I'm going to tell you that should never be the reason not to actually put a fee, and in particular, a carbon fee.
Congress is going to significantly raise taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up.
Kamala's plan will raise families' taxes by nearly $2,600 a year. Under Kamala, prices have already soared. Now she'd make it worse with even higher taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up.
President Trump will cut taxes again. No taxes on tips, overtime, or Social Security. Approve this message.
Thank you very much. This is the worst mic I've ever had in my life. This is the worst. The tax queen is also demanding a shocking 33% tax hike on all domestic production, along with the largest capital gains tax hike in the history of our country. In other words, she's going to tax your companies and you out of business. The companies are going to leave, and you're going to end up with the same mess that you've had for the last 40 years. In total, the proposals are estimated to kill almost 1 million full-time jobs. Under Kamala, who knows absolutely nothing about what we're doing, it will be economic Armageddon for Detroit. You go back further, very simply, we're going to make it great. We're going to make it so good. You're going to have jobs coming in like never before. Under Trump, we'll turn this city into the most powerful jobs magnet in the history of the world. Upon taking office, I will immediately begin to eliminate every job-killing regulation on the books. We eliminated more than any other president in 4 years. There's never been a president that eliminated more times 5. As a senator, this one here, Kamala. You know, I'd like to call her Harris, but nobody knows who the hell I'm talking about. You ever see that? Like, you say Harris. Who the hell is Harris? As a Senator, Kamala voted to oppose a 100% ban on gas-powered cars and trucks, which would kill an estimated 200,000 U.S. auto. On day one of the Trump administration, I will terminate Kamala's insane electric vehicle mandate, and we will end the green new scam once and for all. We will quickly become energy independent, and we will frack, 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 and drill, baby. Cut your energy prices in half within 12 months. So listen, I will cut your energy prices in half, 50%, 5-0, cut them in half, within 12 months of taking off. That's going to bring everything down. I will massively cut taxes for workers and small business, and we will also have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits. I will make interest on car loans fully tax deductible, and they will be. So listen to that. What will that do for the cars? Fully tax deductible interest on a car. You buy a car and you get a deduction. Wall Street called me up and said, how the hell did you think of that idea? That's a good one. Because affording a car is essential to restoring the American dream, and you're going to have the American dream finally. You haven't had it in 50 years. Working with Elon Musk, is he good or what? I saw that rocket come down 3-4 days ago. That sucker was coming down. I said, oh my God, I never saw anything like it. I was on the phone with a friend. I'm talking about something. I don't know, something maybe having to do with Detroit, could that be possible? But I'm talking on the phone, and I see the screen is on and no sound, and I'm saying, wait a minute, I have to put the phone down. I don't believe what I'm seeing. And I saw that big monster coming down, that big, it's like a 20-story building or something coming down. The engine are glowing, and they're firing and spinning. And I said, it's gonna crash. It's going to crash into the edge. You don't crash, and then you see another engine take it perfectly, lands right in the spot that it took off. I said, that must be Elon. Let me see how. It must be Elon. So I called up Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He goes, that was me. I said, who else can do it? Nobody. I said, can Russia do it? No. Can the U.S. do it? Meaning the U.S. outside of you? He said, no, nobody can do that. I said, get it, Lewis. That's pretty. And he endorsed me a long time ago, actually, saying it's the most important election we've had. But working with Elon Musk, we will cut trillions of dollars in government waste. He's very good at that. He knows better than anybody. Won't affect anybody other than him awfully good. Help bring our country back. I want to thank also Elon for campaigning so hard in Pennsylvania. Do you know he's actually feels this? Can you imagine? He just lands his biggest landing anyone's ever seen, and he leaves for Pennsylvania to campaign for me. Can you imagine that? And you know, he also, and we got to say this, I went to North Carolina, which was hit hard. Georgia too, really hit hard. But in North Carolina, they had no communications. It was like they were an island unto themselves. And I said to the people, what can we do? He said, we have no communication. People are dying. It's a mess. They said the federal government, Washington, is doing a terrible job. Sir, do you know Elon Musk? I said, I happen to know him. He endorsed me. He said, what's the problem? He said, can you get Starlink? I said, what the hell is Starlink? And they explained it to me. I'm a fast study. It didn't take too long. So I called up Elon and I was saying, Elon, we're in North Carolina. The people are really, it's devastation here. It's unbelievable. They have no communication to the mainland. It's like it cut it off. It's incredible. The water was never, we've never seen anything like that. I said, Elon, Starlink, It's very hard to get, by the way, because it's very successful, very hard to get. He said, can you get Starlink, a lot of those suckers, can you get them for North Carolina and parts of Georgia? And I was talking to him about it, and all of a sudden I get a call on the other line. It's the man from North Carolina. Thank you, sir, for getting the Starlink. I said, I haven't even finished my conversation. I said, Elon, I haven't even finished my conversation, and they're already saying you said, that's right, I did. I do two things at one time. I can do that. So he's great. He saved a lot of lives, I think, and he really, and by the way, the Starlink worked perfectly. As soon as it got there, it was perfect. So thank you to Elon for that. He did a great job. And if we do all of this, our flag will fly proudly once more over the gleaming new factories, and the whole world will witness Michigan's resurgence. Wealth will flood into our country and into the hands of our great workers. And that is the future that awaits for Detroit under a certain gentleman named President Donald J. Trump. Have you heard? It's going to be real. As we rebuild our economy, we'll also restore our borders. Did you ever see anything like what's coming in through our borders? Criminals, drug dealers, prisoners, people from mental institutions. For 4 straight years, Kamala has imported an army of illegal alien gang members and migrant criminals from prisons and jails, insane asylums and mental institutions all around the world, from Venezuela to the Congo, and she's resettled them into your communities to prey upon innocent Americans. I happen to think it's the worst thing that's happened. I think it's worse than inflation. I think it's worse than a bad economy. I think it's the worst thing that happened to us. 21 million people. When I win on November 5th, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins. Deadliest and most vicious migrant gangs that Kamala has imported into our country, or to say it a little differently, Kamala, but I don't give a damn if I pronounce it right. Who the hell's it? It's the savage Venezuelan prison gang, Tren de Aragua. Do you know them? Very nice. It's a very nice group of young gentlemen. Very fine people. They were gang members in Venezuela. We let them into our country. And by the way, they're taking over parts of cities all over the place. But in Aurora, Colorado, and communities in all 50 states, this gang is terrorizing law-abiding citizens, including taking over multiple apartment complexes. You have to take a look at this. Take a look.
Open borders, deadly consequences.
Border crisis, record high crossings are putting a strain on America. It is a
armed Venezuelan gang members storming an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado.
When people talk about migrant crime, this is what they're talking about. Biden and Harris had created a program to bring them in under humanitarian parole.
I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been released into the United States.
My 20-year-old daughter, Kayla Hamilton, was murdered in her own room. Kayla's murderer was apprehended by Border Patrol crossing illegally into the U.S.
Kayla's murderer had been improperly released into the United States.
Abolish ICE. Yeah, we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
An Afghan national is in custody today after being accused of plotting an election day terrorist attack. The suspect entered the U.S. on a special immigrant visa.
More than a dozen people suspected of being Tren de Aragua gang members right here in San Antonio.
The gang members had been terrorizing the apartment complex.
New details in the murder of Laken Riley, the illegal immigrant suspect who cops say committed the
and was paroled and released into the country by the Biden administration.
2 men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
Court documents suggest a group of men arrested for beating and robbing a Dallas woman last month are members of a Venezuelan street gang.
Manuel Hernandez was booked by Colleyville police just 2 days earlier and released the day before the robbery.
Just so you know, we have the most dangerous criminals in the world in our country now. We never had anything like this. These are the most dangerous criminals in the world. They make our criminals look like very nice people. That's about the only thing you can say. But they are the worst, among the worst people, and they come from all over the world. I thought it was 158 countries. Last week they reported is 181 countries. They're coming from all over the world. They're emptying their prisons into our country, mental institutions into our country, and they're taking their street gangs and their drug dealers and terrorists are now in our country. 21 million people came in under their rule, and she was in charge of the border. She's a grossly incompetent person, and we can't let this happen. We have to get the hell out and vote and get them out of here. The United States is now an occupied country. How about that? You ever think you'd be hearing that? We're an occupied country. We're being occupied. You know, if you have a 1 million-person army, that's a big army. They've got millions and millions of people. If they just take a small percentage of them, they'd have 6 million man or woman army. Think of that. They've let these people into our country. They're emptying out the jails all over the world, the mental institutions all over the world. They're coming in. I think it's the biggest problem we have. I don't care. Deflation and inflation is all bad stuff. But this is, the polls say the biggest problem is our economy, which stinks. The second biggest problem is inflation, which is devastating, worst we've ever had. And the third is our border. I think the border is the first biggest problem, if you want to know the truth. But November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. And when I get rid of this microphone at the end of this speech, it's going to be Liberation Day for Donald J. Trump, because I'm blowing out my voice to get this sucker done. I'm blowing out my voice. But I'm going to get through this speech because you're from Detroit. We're going to turn this place around. We're going to make sure that electric current comes into it like it should. Liberation of Donald Trump. Good night, folks. That'll be... That's terrible. But I think it's okay. I mean, you can hear. If I scream like hell into the mic, I think, good for you, not so good for me. But that's okay. That's what my life has been about for the last 10 years, and that's good because we love you. We're going to turn it all around for you. Under Kamala Harris, 13,099 illegal aliens, convicted murderers are on the loose in the United States. Immediately upon taking the oath of office, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. Have no choice. We have no choice. I will rescue every town across America that's been invaded and conquered, and I will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country, which is my #1 choice. To expedite removals of the Tren de Aragua gangs and other savage gangs like MS-13, which is just as bad. We have by the thousands now. I took them out by the thousands, and they now are coming back in by the thousands. These people, what they've done to our country, I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. That's where we had to go. To target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil. We will call it Operation Aurora. We want to pay tribute to Aurora, Colorado. The governor there is a radical left Democrat. He is petrified. I just don't want to walk out of his mansion. And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. So we keep them out. And I am hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer. Kamala's migrant invasion is also devastating our great African-American community, stealing American jobs, crushing wages, undercutting the voting power of our own citizens, and bringing drugs, crime, and death to our country. You know, we're devastating the African-American population. They're taking their jobs. It's terrible. It's terrible. And also Hispanic. They're taking a lot of Hispanic jobs. And the jobs created by Biden are all being taken by people coming into the country illegally. So, you know, it's terrible. Yet Kamala says there is nothing she would do differently. Listen to this. She'll do nothing differently.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from Afghanistan stunned Americans and the world and cost the lives of 13 U.S. soldiers.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
An Afghan national is in custody today after being accused of plotting an election day terrorist attack. The suspect entered the U.S. on a special immigrant visa.
Gut-wrenching new details in the murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national who crossed the unsecured southern border back in 2022. Two men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
A fifth illegal immigrant accused of attacking two New York City police officers over the weekend showed no remorse or regret.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Only 18% say the economy is in excellent or good condition.
US inflation has hit a new 40-year high, increasing by 9.1% over the financial year.
The cost of homes have spiked. Home buyers need to earn 80% more than they did in 2020 to afford a house.
Were you the last person in the room?
Yes.
You know, she destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed California along with Gavin Newsom. Destroyed it. Did you say when Newsom said that you're not allowed to even ask for voter ID? If anybody asks somebody for voter ID, it's considered a crime. You know why? Because they want to cheat. There's only one reason why. We want to be very careful. Detroit, if you want to end this disaster, you must get out and vote. You have to get out and vote right now. And with that, I'd like to acknowledge some of our great friends. And he just spoke, so I don't want to have to waste his time, but he did just speak, and he's great. He's one of our really true leaders in this country. We're all lucky to have him running for the Senate. Mike Rogers. Where's Mike? Mike, thank you, man. And I don't want him to get up and use this crappy microphone that they sent. I don't want him to do that. I want to keep him good and healthy. Unlike Trump, I want him to have his voice tomorrow. When I get up tomorrow and I can't speak, I'm going to say Detroit did it to me, but that's... We're also pleased to be joined by a future star and really a current star. He's a great guy. He's a friend of mine. Congressman, do you know who he is? Byron Donalds. Congressman Donalds, thank you. Thank you, Byron. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. Thank you very much, Byron. Michigan House Republican leader Matt Hall. Matt, thank you, Matt. How are we doing here, Matt? We doing good? Gonna win, I hope. We gotta win. So far, we're winning. and Senate Republican leader Eric Nesbitt. Thank you, Eric. A man, thank you very much, Eric. A man that I said, you got to do this, you got to do it. He wasn't sure if he wanted to, you know, he had a great career. I said, I'm sorry, Pete Hoekstra, you got to do it. You got to become the GOP chairman. Ambassador Pete Hoekstra. Thank you, Pete. Great job. So, Pete, are we going to win? How are we doing? Thus far, I hear, like, way above projection. We're not even talking about polls anymore. These are way above projection. A man who is probably more knowledgeable about auto workers for Trump and auto workers, period, and who knows exactly what we're doing. He's a member of the union, but he's not happy with what they're doing, with the whole thing, what they're doing. You know, they've lost a lot of jobs over the last few months, and it's going to continue until you have no jobs in this country. We're not going to let it happen. We are going to have more jobs, and it's going to be more powerful as an automobile capital than it was in its heyday 60 years, 70 years ago. It's going to happen. It's going to happen fast. Brian, stand up. Pannebecker, Brian Pannebecker. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brian. And Dr. Masad Boulos, great friend of mine, and Michael Boulos, my son-in-law. He's a wonderful young man. Stand up, please. That's good. That's good. He got lucky. He married Tiffany. And they're having a baby, a beautiful little baby. We also have a man highly respected in Michigan, Imam Husseini. Imam, please, wherever you may be, stand up. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you very much. Great honor to have you. And we have a guy, I made so much money with this guy. He was brutal. He was a brutal man. Happened to come from a place called Detroit, or as they say, Detroit. He says, I come from Detroit, which is cool as hell if you're the hitman, Tommy Hearns. The hitman. Tommy, come up here, Tommy. Come up, come. Come up here. Tommy the hitman. We love Tommy. I won so much money betting on this guy. He was brutal. We love that. Look at him. He still looks good. He still looks good. Wow. They have to take down. You know, Secret Service has got a little, I don't know, is there such a thing as over? But Tommy's going to have to cross about 9 gates. I don't think so, Tommy. About 25 years ago, he would have just hopped over him. Hey, Tommy, you still good, huh? You think I could take you now in a fight right now? No, I don't think so. I don't think, look at him, he wants to, oh no, he wants to fight. Oh. Tommy the Hitman. Man, oh man. Some of the greatest fights in history. Oh, look, he wants to come up. We should have him up, right? Come on, Tommy. Man, oh man. I saw him in the audience. I said, we got to get. I see a lot of people in the audience. I'm not bringing them up. Come on, Tommy. One of the greatest fighters of all time, and man, I'll tell you what, he was something special. And thank you, Tommy. And he looks great, doesn't he? He looks great.
Donald, hear those nice words come from you, man? It's got to be real. It's got to be real. I myself, I never thought I was a great fighter, but I thought I did a pretty good job. But hearing come from you, Donald, I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Ah, that's good.
I want to fight now.
Man, he fight. He was a natural. He had the greatest. He had hips a little bit smaller than mine. He had shoulders a little bit larger than mine. See, he went in the right proportion. That's the way it's supposed to be, right? Thank you, Tommy. They love him in Detroit, right? They love him in Detroit. Another man that they love in Detroit is a rapper, and he's one of the hottest in the world, actually. Trick Trick. Where's Trick Trick? Trick Trick. Come here, Trick Trick. Come here. Maybe we should have him do a little rapping or something, huh? Come here. Look at him. He looks good. He looks good. You look good.
What up, though, Detroit? If y'all know about Trick Trick, y'all know I'm about bringing it all to Detroit. So please welcome the 47th President of the United States as we make Detroit great again.
Thank you very much. That's great. You have some great people here, I tell you. This is a great place. We're going to really we're going to make it great again, like the country. And we did it, and then we have to do it again because they blew it. They blew it to hell. But we're going to do it again. Thank you, Trick Trick. Here are some of the facts on Kamala Harris. You know, after talking to the Hitman and Trick Trick, it seems sort of boring getting back into Kamala, but that's what we got to do. We got to save our country, right? Mr. Wall, Mr. Wall, stand up, please. This guy is great. You know, he's a wealthy guy. He made a lot of money. He comes to, how many would you say you're at? 350 or something? He's got a lot. This guy's got lots of cash. And I love his, someday I'm going to wear one of them to a rally. I think it would be well received because we built 571 miles of wall. We had it made, we were going to build another 200 miles of wall. And then they decided to sell it for 5 cents on the dollar. But we're going to get it done. We built much more than I said I was going to build. And we had the safest border in the history of our country. By the way, my all-time favorite graph. Can we put it up? That's my all-time favorite. Illegal immigration saved my life, if you think about it. But that arrow in the bottom, that's when I left office. That was the lowest point of illegal immigration. That included drugs and so many other things. It was just everything. But it was also, you know, they dealt with so many different elements of different forms of crime, the people that were coming in. And look what happened after that. Look at that. So that was me. That was me, and the last day, and then you look, it was like a rocket ship. It was like Elon Musk sent the rocket ship up, and that was loaded up with criminals of the worst kind, and that's what we have now in our country. And it's worse than that because that one, I want to keep it just the way it was. I'm not going to change it at all. But the numbers on the right, they continue for a long time. It's just an amazing thing. But we love that piece of paper. We love that chart more than any. I sleep with it. I kiss it every night. I do have that throbbing feeling in my right ear. A little throbbing feel, but that's okay. That's great. Thank you very much. So that was the best in history. That was the best in recorded history anyway. That was the lowest. It was the day I left office. They had human trafficking at a level, the lowest level. Now it's about 12 times higher. And they traffic in women. They traffic, not, I mean, in children, but they traffic in women more than any other thing. It's a horrible, you wouldn't even believe it could be possible. So thank you very much. I just wanted to see if you had that. I looked to the right, and a lot of things happened. And, you know, we went to Butler a few weeks ago, and we had a celebration. 101,000 people showed up. 101,000, Butler, Pennsylvania. 101,000 people showed up. And it was a beautiful tribute to Corey, the great firefighter. He was a great guy, a big Trump fan. And two other wonderful gentlemen were really hurt badly. They thought they were not going to make it, and the doctors did an unbelievable job, and they're getting better and better and better. But that's a rough thing. That was some evening, I will tell you. But what was really some, and we had an opera singer that was so incredible, right? We had an opera singer that was incredible. We had the bells of Notre Dame. Now, they were recorded. We tried bringing them over, but they wouldn't let us do that. But we had a moment of silence, then the bells rang, and then the opera singer sang, and we had Ave Maria by Pavarotti. We had a whole night. It was an unbelievable tribute. It was a tribute to him, 101,000 people. Kamala Harris is a radical left Marxist, rated even worse than Bernie Sanders and even worse than Pocahontas. Does anyone know who Pocahontas? The great Pocahontas, they said, you should never use that term. Please apologize. I said, I'd like to apologize to the real Pocahontas for... Kamala destroyed our border. She destroyed our economy. She was an original creator of defund the police movement. Anybody that wants to defund the police even for one day, we don't want them. They're not worthy of being the president of the United States. If you have that ideology, and she does, she's a Marxist, communist, fascist, anything you want. Remember I said, we will never be a socialist country. Remember I said that as a state? We will not be a socialist country. And I was right. We skipped socialism. We went down to communism. So I was right. I like to be right. I was right for the wrong reasons, right? Kamala Harris vowed to abolish ICE. These are the greatest people. They're tough, they're smart, and they love our country, and they take people out that nobody else wants to touch. I have some friends in the front row. They're very tough. They're not doing it. They said, we'll pass. And she wants to get rid of them. She wants to get rid of ICE. She wants to ban fracking, and as California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as nonviolent crimes. She pledged, think of that, she pledged to confiscate your guns. Would anybody like to give up their guns? She wants to confiscate. You feel a little safer when you have all these criminals. Think of it. They allow hundreds of thousands of prisoners to come into our country. Some are murderers, some are drug dealers. They come in and then they say, by the way, we're taking away your guns also, right? They don't go, would anybody like to volunteer to give up your guns? Please raise your hand. Oh, we have one guy. I have a feeling he won't be doing it when they... Nah, thank you very much. Good. Thank you. Sit down. That's enough. That's enough. He's our friend, but that's enough. And endorsed a total ban on handgun ownership. She wants to endorse a ban, a big one. She already did. She even called for free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention. How about that one? And most importantly of all, she lied about working at McDonald's. That's like not a big thing, but can I be honest with you? It's terrible. But there is a video, you know, we talk about woke, and they want to take us woke. And we have a video that I think you'll enjoy. It's about when we won 2 world wars, when we were although we did defeat ISIS in about 4 weeks, I will tell you, we have a great military. But I think you'll enjoy this. The way it used to be, and the way it is right now.
You little scumbag! I got your name! I got your ass! You will not laugh! You will not cry! You will learn by the numbers!
Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month, and actually, let's declare it a summer of pride.
So you're a killer? Sir, yes, sir! Let me see your war face! Sir, you got a war face? Ah! That's a war face! Now let me see your war face! Ah! Bullshit! You didn't convince me! Let me see your real war face! Ah!
I hear it and I know, I know you wanna take.
You will be a weapon. You will be a minister of death, praying for war. But until that day, you are pukes. You are the lowest form of life on earth. You are not even human fucking beings. You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit.
How to abracadabra, these bitches know I got answers the way I.
It looks to me like the best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's ass and ended up as a brown stain on the mattress. I love working for Uncle Sam. I love working for Uncle Sam. Let me know just who I am. Let me know just who I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps. 1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps.
Pretty cool, right? We won 2 world wars, remember that? We won plenty of others, and we defeated ISIS so rapidly nobody can believe it. In a matter of weeks, they said it was going to take 5 years. We did it in a matter of weeks. In conclusion, with your vote this November, we are going to fire Kamala, and we are going to save America. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always cherish our great American flag. We will cut your taxes, crush inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and create the greatest job boom the world has ever seen. We're going to do that very easily, very easily. We will hire American, buy American, build American, grow American, and show the whole world that the American dream is back, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. I will stop the... Absolutely, darling. And I will stop the global theft of American jobs and turn the U.S. into the manufacturing superpower of the world. I will end the war in Ukraine immediately. I will get it done while I'm President-elect. Stop the chaos in the Middle East and prevent World War III. We are very close to World War III. We are very, very close to World War III because we have incompetent people. Ukraine would have never happened. October 7th would have never happened. Inflation would have never happened. It was caused by their stupid energy policy. None of this stuff would have happened, and we wouldn't have had that horrible situation in Afghanistan, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. 13 dead soldiers, many people dead, many people and soldiers just devastated, loss of legs and arms. All of that wouldn't have happened, and of course we gave them tens of billions of dollars worth of brand new military equipment that I bought and they gave it away to the Taliban. I think it was the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And because of that, Putin said, this is a paper tiger. I'm going to go into Ukraine, but he would have never done it if I were president. And even the Democrats admit that, frankly. I will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military. You know, I rebuilt our military. We rebuilt our military, but we're going to bring it to a next step. We will build a missile defense shield, all made in the USA. A lot of it made right here. And we will put the stars and stripes on the surface of Mars, and maybe with the help of Elon, we'll get it done quickly. We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will, remember this one, we will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. It'll be gone. And we will keep men out of women's sports. I will defend religious liberty, your right to free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms. We will do that. Second Amendment. After years and years of building up other countries, we will protect our borders, defend our families, and protect our American suburbs, cities, and towns like never before. We will end sanctuary cities, and we will stop illegal immigration once and for all. We will put American citizens first. We will put American citizens first, American children first, American patients first, American taxpayers first, American workers first, and American communities first. And we will put communists, Marxists, and fascists last, if that's okay. And they will always be last. They will never make a comeback. They're getting very close. We've got to win this election or they're going to be there. They're going to be there. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be conquered. And we will be a strong, proud, and free nation once again. We will defend our civilization, reclaim our sovereignty, and I will give you back your freedom, your future, and your life. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda once and for all. We want a landslide, and it looks like that could be happening. Too big to risk. Early voting is underway, so get everyone you know and go out and vote. Go tomorrow. It's just starting. Go and vote. Make sure you vote and bring all our friends that want to vote for us. Tell them, Jill, get your fat husband off the couch. Get that fat pig off the couch. Tell him to go and vote for Trump. He's going to save our country. Get that guy the hell off her. Get him up, Jill. Slap him around. Get him up. Get him up, Jill. We want him off the couch to get out and vote. Bring your friends and get them out. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge. And this is true. I really believe this. We're on the verge of the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. With your help from now until Election Day, we're talking about 19 days. 19. We will redeem America's promise, and we will take back the nation that we love. We have to take it back because we've lost it. We've lost it. Nothing will sway us. Nothing will slow us, and no one will stop us. We will press forward to our magnificent American destiny, and together we will fight, 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 and vote, vote, vote. And we will win, win, win. We're going to win, win, win. And November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, and God bless you all. God bless you. Thank you, everybody.